So the Leadership Consortium owes its name and its origin from the fact that a consortium is in essence a grouping and a collective of ideas and thoughts. And it's embedded in the fact that leadership per se is not normally in the hands of one person. It should be a collective, it should involve different perspectives, it should involve a broad spectrum of what is possible from the leadership perspective. The Zenger-Folkman family of colleagues around the world represent a broad group of people who are playing in the leadership space. And our Australian colleagues, Terry Reynolds and Glenn Price, have done a magnificent job in putting together a set of podcasts that address the questions and the recipes within the Zenger-Folkman methodology. These podcasts represent step-by-step, short, bite-sized, normally about 3 to 4 minutes, ideas, concepts, and tips and tricks as to how we can build our extraordinary leadership. So our invitation is to enjoy these podcasts, squeeze as much value as you can out of them, and make it part of building your leadership stepway to extraordinary. So the third podcast highlights the fact that great leaders can make a big difference. One only has to look at our litany of great South African leaders just to witness how this has happened on the world stage. Take for instance Johnny Clegg, who has made a dramatic difference in the music world. Our research shows that poor leaders lead to poor results, and by the same token, extraordinary and great leaders deliver extraordinary results. Our research has shown that these results can be as significant as doubling the profit for your company.
Welcome to the Leadership Digital podcast series with Glenn Price and Terry Reynolds. In our research, we found conclusive evidence that leaders with poor leadership skills generate poor results. That finding will not come as a surprise or a shock to you. It is quite intuitive to anyone who has worked in an organization for more than just a few weeks. And our research is equally clear about the fact that good leaders tend to produce good results for their organizations. What's more, most individuals do not need sophisticated measurement tools to tell the difference between good leaders and bad leaders. They feel the difference. They have experienced the effects at a very personal level. In general, good leaders are more effective than bad leaders in almost every dimension. Great leaders improve productivity, reduce turnover, enhance customer experience, and create high levels of employee commitment. Our research shows that there is another, even more dramatic level of difference between good and extraordinary leadership. This was a major surprise finding of our research. Extraordinary leaders make a major difference when compared with merely good leaders. They create even less turnover, motivate and inspire employees to perform at a much higher level, and greatly enhance customer experience. One analysis, combining results from dozens of studies, showed that for a high-level job, the productivity difference between the top performers and the major majority is huge. Results showed that the top person is 127% more productive than the average person and infinitely more productive than the 100th person in that curve. Our goal was to examine just how powerful an extraordinary leader's effect could be, particularly on the bottom line. In one mortgage bank, we found that extraordinary leaders created profits that were nearly double those of merely just the good leaders. In another study, organizations with excellent leaders had average stock returns nearly 7 times higher than the general market. So, how can you increase your positive impact? 1. Focus on moving your leadership from bad to good. Poor leaders drive customers and employees away. They lose money for their businesses. On every measurable dimension of organizational performance, good leaders outperform bad. 2. Don't focus on moving your leadership from good to just slightly better. There is not much difference in outcomes between leaders ranked in the middle categories, say from the 30th to the 70th percentile. Making small incremental improvements in leadership effectiveness in this range does not seem to substantially affect organizational outcomes. And lastly, set yourself a goal of moving your leadership from good to great. Huge differences exist between top performers and average performers for all types of jobs in every outcome category. If leaders can move from the good level to the extraordinary level at a reasonable cost to the organization, then the return on that investment will be substantial for your organization, your team, your customers, and for yourself.
It's a pleasure to be able to share these thoughts and ideas with you and hopefully be part of allowing you to adopt a journey where extraordinary leadership is an opportunity and a growth area for you and your teams.